You're listening to Sports and More with Chris and Tom.
Welcome back. It's the guys with the faces for radio and the voices for a silent movie.
This is Sports and More with Chris and Tom. I am Chris.
And and let's hope tonight goes better than the past game. I've been a bit too close for comfort, and we're playing fast and loose with the internet here tonight in the same way.
Oh yeah, it's a testy one you got today, guys. We'll see how we do with this one.
Against my college football team because it's hard to walk and down. Please tell me that you got that.
Got like half of it there, sir. We are having a choppy night, you guys. We're gonna ride this rough wave as best we can, and we will see how we do. If it's not our night, it's not our night. But you want me to take it away with MLB standings, senor?
Go for it, man.
All right, so MLB standings. Not much has changed in the National League, but the American League, we had some changes with the Rays, still holding on to a 9-game lead, but this time it's over the Blue Jays, Red Sox, and Yankees. Yes, in that order. They're all tied for second place and 9 games out, so the Rays will take the division handily. With the Orioles at 33 games out, yes, they have the worst record in the MLB, but because they're not as far out, we don't make fun of them as badly as we will with the team coming up in the NL West. In the AL Central, you have the White Sox with a 12-game lead. My bad, it's an 11.5 game lead over the Indians. In the worst division in baseball, because the White Sox are the only team above 500, and gosh darn it, they're going to win the division easily. In the AL West, the Asterix will probably be the champions of the West. Unfortunately, tragically, they will be leading that division and go home easily with that title. In the NL East, you have the Braves with a 3.5 game lead over the Phillies. They start opening up a lead on that division. It looks like the Braves will end up taking the division as we hit the home stretch of the season. In the NL Central, the Brewers have a massive 14-game lead over the Reds. It is over. It's done. I know the Reds aren't mathematically eliminated right now, but it's donezo. The fat lady is in the wings, warming up, and she's ready to belt it out. Meanwhile, the Giants hold a 1.5 lead over the Dodgers, I believe. No, 2.5 game lead. It just flashed across the screen down below on the ticker, and I just caught it last second perfectly to see that I was bumbling that one up. The Padres, meanwhile, are 18.5 games back in third place and are currently not in the playoffs. They're behind the Reds for the playoff spot right now. So the Padres have fallen all the way out of playoff contention right now, but they're only a game out, so they could come into this thing. But the Arizona Diamondbacks are 46 games out of first place in the West at 47-96. So, Tom, your favorite team to make fun of, I should say, is just struggling mightily.
They're I almost kind of really like them now, just because I get to make fun of. They're becoming a favorite right here in the office.
Oh, yeah. They're just fun to see. Oh, did the Diamondbacks lose it? Hooray! They lost again. Hey, they're going to go further back in the standings. More time to make fun of them. They are the biggest losers of
it's
the
just
MLB.
Another thing. It's just another thing we love to make fun of. So, I mean, just add it to the list.
Add it to that list. I mean, it's fun to make fun of a bad team when it's not your team like the Iowa Cubs are right now. You caught that pun there, people. Good on you. Good on you.
Oh, I love it. Even though it's in our own organization, I love it.
No. But as you guys know, take it away, Senior. Yeah, so
You're talking right now.
Yeah,
because it's that bad.
Yeah, all right, I got
Just you. Go ahead and talk. You take it. You take the lead.
All right, I'll take the lead. As you guys know, on last week's episode, we talked about the NFL preview for the 2021 season, and we have pretty much week 1 in the books. Yes, Monday Night Football is going on as we speak, and yeah, it's the Ravens and Raiders. The Ravens are going to win that football game. We're not going to worry about that right now. And it's time to overreact. It's 1 week into a 17-game season, so let's have some overreactions. And first off, with the team we both picked to go to the Super Bowl, the Buffalo Bills are not super. That offense struggled because Josh Allen looked like he was trying to throw a 99-mile-an-hour fastball all game long and forgot to layer the ball to his receivers like a Tom Brady will do at times. And as they did not run the football. They did not commit to it. I think they ran the ball maybe 20 times and threw the ball 51 times. That's not going to win you many football games in the NFL. And their defense isn't up to snuff to stop the Chiefs. Yes, they held the Steelers to 23 points, but that offense and the Chiefs offense are two completely different offenses. So I don't know if the Bills are a Super Bowl team right now. Hopefully they get to that point for our pick's sake. But right now, I'm not feeling it.
Waiting for me.
Yeah, waiting for you, sir.
I I can't tell. This is frustrating.
All right.
Not gonna lie. Uh, and I'll have to agree with you there. That after the performance this, and I mean they're going to be good and they still have the potential to have a very good season. But after game one, they don't look like a Super Bowl ready team.
No, and that's frustrating because that team looks on paper to be ready, but they're just not there right now. And they don't even have the excuse that they're missing their OC like the Titans are. So it could just be one of those things where the Bills have all the hype but don't show up, which would be unfortunate. However, what isn't unfortunate is that Aaron Rodgers was just a bad man last Sunday, yesterday. He was just bad, and as a Bear, I don't take joy in this as a Bears fan. I take supreme, I don't know, exaltation at this. It is a joyous occasion. He threw for 133 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. He completed 53% of his passes and was replaced by Jordan Love in the fourth quarter. And Green Bay got stomped out by the breezeless Saints 38-3. I mean, Tom, did he retire and just start hosting Jeopardy without telling anyone? Is that what happened out there? Because I'm having trouble.
Before he stepped foot on the field. Uh, happened. See, personally, as a fan, I love it. Obviously, my wife, my in-laws, they don't. But as a fan, I love it because this makes the Bears look better.
Oh yeah,
not that much better, but a little bit. And it makes me feel better about the rest of the season if this is a good the kind of start that the Packers are having. But I'm not gonna lie. All right, we have our fantasy league.
Yep.
The Sports and More fantasy league with you and Paul and Jawa and my brother and who's the other?
Jawa's mom, I believe, is who it is. Or...
Jawa's mom, yeah. And so with all of us, I played against Paul this week. And, of course, the week that the Packers have just a terrible game is when I start those guys and I lose to Paul. Well, I'm going to. It's not official. I think it's happening right now. But lose to Paul by about what was predicted for my 2 Packers players to gain this week. So, I mean, as a fantasy team owner, I hate it. As a Bears fan, I loved it.
I mean, I hear you there. I mean, I've lost my game to Jawa by like 70 points, something like that. I looked at the scoreboard after Sunday's game, like, oh, that's over. I have the Mark Andrews time for the Ravens play tonight, and I said, game's over. He's not scoring 70 points. This is pack it up, boys. Go home, call it a night. Jawa, congratulations. You took that game handedly.
At one point yesterday, I was down to Paul by 109 points.
Yep. I was there. I was there.
So bad.
I mean, because Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs did not meet their stuff. So it's like, well, there goes my game.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I'm just glad I had Patrick Mahomes to save me a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. You needed that one. And piggybacking off that, because in the other fantasy football league I have, I have Thomas, Edward, Patrick, Brady Jr., and is it buck to buck? Are the Bucks going to go back to back in this one? Because
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I got clever with that one. I mean, the offense only stopped themselves with 2 fumbles, 2 INTs. Other than that, the Cowboys were not stopping that offense at any point in time. And that run defense of Tampa Bay, nobody's running on them. Zeke could not run. He was getting swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. It was terrible. And the only thing they need to fix is the secondary, which was their Achilles heel last season, which was solved because the D-line just started rushing 4 guys and saying, go get them. and I was yelling at my TV screen the whole game, saying, "Stop blitzing Todd Bowles! Just send your D line attack. It's everyone else back because those four guys, Vita Vea was not blockable on Thursday night.
Oh no.
He was eating that whole O line up and then getting to Dak at the same time. It was impressive.
But I do gotta hand it to Dak. He did a lot better than I think most expected. What 400 or close to 400 yards?
Oh yeah,
I know that. Did he have 400 or did he have
403 yards
380?
passing.
403. Okay, I couldn't remember. I knew that both he and Brady were at or just under 400, and then what 3 touchdown passes. So
Yeah,
I mean,
one why
he still had himself a night.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
that is nothing to shake a stick at. So
no.
Dak, he showed out. He just didn't get a whole lot of help elsewhere, and I think a lot of that had to do, like you said, the solid rush defense from the Bucks. The secondary is where they kind of fell back. The Bucks did, and obviously that was present because of the 400 yards through the air
Yeah.
that Dak had. But what we've talked about before, and what you and I talked about on the phone on Saturday, was the Cowboys' lack of defense.
Oh.
We knew that they have some offensive weapons, and they had the potential, but I mean, only one half of the team is really solid all the way through. They got a lot of holes on defense, and that was very present last week.
Oh yeah, and the Bucks I think shot themselves in the foot with I think three of their four turnovers were self-inflicted for the most part. It was a ball that hit that Brady hit Fournette in the hands and bounced right back to the Cowboy linebacker.
Gimme.
Chris Godwin tried to do too much and exposed the football to be fumbled. Another fumble where I think the running back just dropped the ball, and then there's a Hail Mary pick, which a Hail Mary pick is not saying much. It's kind of supposed to happen at that point in time.
Right. It's kind of expected. Almost.
Yeah,
It's kind of one of those like 80, 20, 70, 30 chances that you're actually going to catch it. So
Right. So I know I said last week that the Cowboys defense was top 32. I might have been wrong. I think there might be top 40 defenses out there. We might see some college teams that are better at defense than the Cowboys defense out there.
We know there's better defense
Yeah.
out there
We just-
in college.
Just run out the Alabama defense, and it'll probably be better than the Cowboys defenses right now.
Can we just move Alabama up to the NFL at this point? I mean,
yeah.
really?
I mean, Jacksonville would get thumped at this point by Alabama, which is saying something.
Yeah.
But we have one more thing to talk about, which is what we expected to happen, and we are going to stick on this train. The NFC best is in the West. The entire NFC West is loaded. The worst team in that division right now might be the 49ers, who spanked the Lions for about 3/4 of the football game before the Lions roared back to scare the Niners. But think about this. All four teams undefeated. 3 of those teams won on the road, and they are combined to win by 56 points in week 1.
65.
My bad, 65. I have a dyslexic moment on
Lex Distia.
A Lex Distia moment over there. It's 65 points between 4 teams. That means they won on average by, like, what is it, 15, 16 and a half, 16 and a quarter points per game? That's two. They're winning by 2 scores on average, and one of those teams won by 3 points? Was it the Lions over the Niners over the Lions, something like that? Something
like that, yeah. I'd have to look again exactly. I just know that it came back real close at the end.
Yeah, I think it's like 41-33, so it was an 8-point game. My bad, people. I'm trying to do this all the time of my brain.
But still, then we've got on the other side of it, Rams over the Bears, final 34-14. So that was a 20-point gap.
Yeah,
and that was the one team that was home.
Yep. Yeah, and the Cardinals destroyed the Titans 38-13. I was like, 38-15. I'm like, I think we picked the Titans to win the South this year. I'm not so sure about that right now because Houston's in first place.
Not after week 1, but
Houston's in first place.
You see Hopkins' first catch of the first touchdown catch. Thing of beauty.
DeAndre Hopkins is a stud. I don't know if he has stick up on his gloves or if his hands are just that good because he catches the ball and then he just sticks there.
He is stickum.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
He is stickum. Like that. What he can do with catching the football is just unbelievable.
Oh, absolutely. So NFC West is going to be the best, and I know we didn't pick 4 NFC West teams to make the playoffs. We might have been dead wrong on that one. Week 1, we might have been really wrong on that one. Gosh darn it.
You know what? I think we did that because we were like, they're not all. There's no way they can all make the playoffs. We can't choose 4 from the same conference. We gotta, or the same division. We gotta choose someone from somewhere else. Well,
Yeah,
we might have been onto something there.
yeah, they might all be 10-win teams by the time the season's over with. That's how good they all looked in week 1, which is pretty impressive when you have 4 10-win teams. I don't know if there's going to be an NFC North team that wins 8 right now based on how they all played in week 1.
Based on week 1, that was ugly.
Yeah,
I mean, the best team in
the Loins.
best looking team. Yeah,
the Loins.
After that fourth quarter.
Yeah. I mean, they look.
No one said that in what 10, 12 years.
It's
longer than that.
20, 30 years.
When did Barry Sanders play?
Like the 90s,
That's when we're talking.
mid 90s. Yeah. It was like 30 years ago. We said the Lions were the best team in the NFC North. It's not my bad. That was the NFC Central Division, I believe. In my
That's
memory.
right. They've never been the best in the NFC North because it didn't exist when they were good last. But all right, quick sidebar about that.
Yeah.
I know that he played against our Bears yesterday, but Matt Stafford finally has something to be excited about. The first touchdown drive was 80 yards, 3 plays, 4 plays, something
3
like
plays.
that. I have never he has played in Detroit for his entire career up until yesterday. I have never seen him actually have anything to get excited about. And then first drive, he's throwing high fives, jumping on. He's been 10 years in the league, and he's got all this energy now because he finally has something to be excited about.
I mean,
he's got players around him that can do stuff.
Right. Besides Megatron, I mean, he actually has a whole squad.
That was the one. He's got actually multiple guys now.
Yeah, he has a squad. More importantly, he has a defense behind him that can actually make sure he's going to win games when he puts up 34 points instead of losing those games 40-34. And you could see on the defense, Jalen Ramsey around the field as the bomb said, "Let's go." I'm going to bleep out what you could read his lips saying because he was pumped. Like the Rams, as much as they were being very nice and congenial about Jared Goff and how he's a very nice quarterback, Matthew Stafford is on another level compared to Jared Goff. And all Bears fans, Evil Green Yellow Team fans, and Vikings fans, and more importantly, Lions fans, all knew this. Is now the rest of the world is getting to see this right in front of their face right now.
All right, I got a question for you about this right now, and this is a completely theoretical sort of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Stafford wins a Super Bowl with the Rams. Theoretical.
Yeah.
Is he a Hall of Fame quarterback?
Ooh.
Without it, also on the other side, without a Super Bowl, is he a Hall of Fame quarterback?
No.
He just has not had the guys around him
right.
He is a talented quarterback, but it doesn't look it from the past history because of how little he's actually been able to win. Because of what's not been surrounding him. Yeah,
he has no playoff wins in his career, and that's not his fault, actually. That is not his fault.
No, it's not his fault, no.
Yeah, so that's a tough...
I don't know. With one Super Bowl,
I don't know.
Hard. It depends on how legendary that season is and how his tenure with the Rams will be. He's got the potential. It's just a shame that it's so late in his career.
Hey, he's only 34. If he's on the Brady curve, he's got 10 years to go still before he retires.
That's true. Yeah,
but
he's just been rejuvenated by a trip out to California.
So. Remember, you're also talking to the guy who's saying Eli Manning isn't a Hall of Fame quarterback. I'm one of those guys. I'm like hardcore. Eli Manning's not a Hall of Fame quarterback. I don't care. He's got 2 rings.
I agree.
I
agree with you there. Like, he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but not every Super Bowl winning quarterback is a Hall of Famer.
Right.
So Joe Flacco has a Super Bowl.
Joe Flacco,
Right?
Yeah. Joe Flacco won a couple.
You're right. And he's not there's guys like that everywhere, but you can't put everyone in the Hall of Fame because then that's not the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, there's a Raiders quarterback who has 2 rings who I'm blanking on them. I should know this off the top of my head. And I am looking up.
Ravens quarterback with 2 rings?
A Raiders quarterback has 2 rings. This is back
Raiders quarterback.
Back 70s, 80s when the Raiders were good. I'm looking this up right now.
I think I know who you're talking about. I just can't think of the name.
Yeah, he has 2 comeback. He was like, come on.
I'd look it up myself, but I'm stretching my internet thin as it is.
Jim Plunkett. That's who it was. Jim Plunkett.
Not who I was thinking of.
Plunkett.
Okay.
He was drafted by the Niners, first round draft pick, like at first overall. did not do well in San Francisco before the guy Joe Montana became the 49ers dynasty. He then goes to the Raiders and is the backup and has to come in twice to get him to the Super Bowl. He is not a Hall of Famer, and so that's my logic. Hey, this guy's got 2 rings, not a Hall of Famer. I don't care what Eli's
Super
numbers
Bowls
are.
don't equal the Hall of Fame. Somebody wins a Super Bowl every year.
Yep.
It's not. I mean, I hate to say it, it's not special.
Yep. It's special only if the
It's
quarterback
special.
is special.
That's true. Yeah.
It,
But if you got an average quarterback with a spectacular team around him, and you can still win a lot of games, you can still win a championship.
yeah.
We've seen that happen many a time.
Brad Johnson.
But
Trent Dilfer.
exactly. Those guys exist all the time. I mean, you're not going to see the legendary quarterback every year be the guy to win the championship. Sometimes it's just a great team surrounded by a quarterback who just gets the job done.
Right. I mean, that's what ultimately Russell Wilson was in the year he won his first Super Bowl. He was just the quarterback. He wasn't like the guy. Now he's the guy. He hasn't gone back, but
now he's the guy. But yeah, you're right. At the time, he was just kind of starting to pick up steam.
Right. So we'll see what happens with Stafford. I like that you threw that out there and made me think about, is he a Hall of Famer?
It's just kind of a hypothetical question.
Yeah,
like, all right, you know what? What do we do with him?
Yeah, I have to think about that because you have to think because in a vacuum he's going to be top 10 in yards, touchdowns, all that jazz by the time he retires. But also the league's so different to rule changes and passing's now what you do. You don't really run the football that much. It's now a 17-game season, so he's got more games to play. So stats you kind of got to throw out the window. You got to look at what he did in his era and where did he rank in his era. And I don't know if he ever was a top 5 QB in his era. So I might say no just because of that reason alone. So, but
yeah, and I think one thing that you mentioned is how much time he's got left in the league.
Yeah.
If really we've only seen the front half of his career that thus far, or and then a little some, but then he's got 5-6 years left to really make a statement. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, if everybody was able to keep themselves in the game as well as Tom Brady, at least health wise and everything, then you extend the length of time that guys can spend in the league, thus giving them more chances to make their statement and make themselves known and give themselves a chance. Words are hard today, man. Give themselves a chance of making it to Canton.
Yep, and we will see. And I think we'll see a lot of guys play late in their careers and make a lot greater Hall of Fame statements at the end of their careers than they did in the beginning just because of the player protection and the medical science advancements and the Tom Brady advancements in medical science that we see because he's playing different ball game right now. But let's get ready for week 2 with our week 2 game of the week. And I know
I know we did not pick. You were probably about to say that.
I know. Yeah, we did.
I was reminded by one of our regulars yesterday. You guys didn't pick one this week. Like, yeah, we had a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
last week.
We didn't have time to do that, guys. I'm sorry. We also have our own show where we do our pick'ems like we did last year because we have time constraints now. So we have to do just one game.
I'll take the blame for that one, man. Two kids is a different kind of schedule this year.
Yeah, so we're going to try to figure that one out, mate. And we're just going to go one game each week, starting week 2. So we'll have even number of weeks. Unfortunately, it'll be, it'll be 17 games, 17 weeks. We can still have a winner official at the end of the season. I just remember it's 18-week season, not 17-week season. I'm going to forget that each and every time. And the game
18 weeks with 17 games for each team. That's gonna. All right, hey, so I had the same thought. Like, wait a minute, we're going to be even at the end of this.
No.
So, I think one thing before we get into the game for this week, we know our limitations as our schedules and as we've just indicated. Even if we're not doing a show every week, which we know has happened, especially recently, we've had some scheduling things that we haven't been able to make a show every week. We are still going to post on Facebook, and we'll even test out the posting on YouTube just as a post, which I've never done before, but we can try it out of just us picking the game and who does Chris have, who do I have, even if it's not a show with a whole segment about who and why, we're gonna try to do something and get something out for you.
Absolutely, we will make that commitment now, and we will. And I always give us the ability to have call a mulligan when needed because that's just how the show operates. We always have the ability to call a mulligan when we have a mess up. So, Tom. With that being said, Tom, introduce this game of the week.
The game of the week for week 2, we have your Kansas City Chiefs against the Baltimore Raves. And yes, I
Yeah,
know, I
typo,
know.
typo.
But in our notes,
Yeah, yeah,
Chris
yeah,
made a
typo.
boo boo with the typo,
Yeah.
and it says the Baltimore Raves. So tonight I will only be referring to the purple and black team that hails from Baltimore, Maryland, as the Baltimore Raves.
I mean, they have no knee, so why should I put it in there right now? They have like everyone out with knee injuries, so but hey, that's on me, guys. I'll own it. I make boo boos all the time, so I like owning
I
the boo
saw
boos.
that. I was reading through. I'm like, oh, that's making it in.
All right, so
Not to make fun of you at all. It's
no,
just
not at all, not at all.
hey, not at all. I never do that.
Nah, 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 nah.
Anyway, so we have to decide the who picks first,
Yeah,
and because I have now just made fun of you in
yeah.
front of everyone, I'm going to graciously allow you to pick. I'll flip the coin,
Yeah.
but you pick and
Okay.
call it in the air. All right.
All right.
Let's see if I can get it to make the nice, beautiful ping off the table here.
Hey, we don't even need the ping anymore. We have video now, so we didn't see a flip in the air. So
We have video.
yeah.
We can see it. All right.
All right.
So
I'm going to say so. Which is
I'm going to
heads?
try to. There's heads,
Yeah.
tails.
All right. So
Of course, I'm going to have to pick it up and show it differently to show you what it was, but just so you know what we're working with. The same coin from last year.
we're going tails this time.
Tails.
Around.
All right. And I'm glad we have video because I missed the table.
We still got a ping though. I can hear it on the audio.
Here it is. There we go. And my good sir,
Tails?
tails.
Hey, Opa! All right, this is easy.
You won it.
All right, I'm going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, it's the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs. People.
What?
I mean, the Ravens look good. The Raves, as Tom is going to call
Raves.
them, because of my boo boos, they look good right now. But they're playing the Raiders, and the Raiders are not a playoff team right now. So we're going to take that with a grain of salt. And the Chiefs played the Browns. Yes, it's a struggle, but it's the Chiefs. They're a second half football team. They're not a first half football team. They play well in the second half, and that's when the offense explodes. I don't know if the Raves defense can stop the Chiefs for a whole 60 minutes. The only team that can do that is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they're not playing them right now. So I'm going to take the Chiefs and Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. Thank you, boys, very much for giving me the wing in my other fantasy football leagues. I'm going to keep riding that train. I hope the Chiefs do well in this week.
And you took the team that I wanted to take. Honestly, I should have lied and just said that it was heads, but I'm not that kind of guy.
Right.
I think if there's a team that could edge out past the Chiefs, I think it could be the Raves. Excuse me. I'm never gonna say Ravens again. They've got a solid defense. Yeah, I think they've got some areas to improve upon, and some areas that I think Mahomes and that offense can take advantage of. And so I think we're going to see them maybe pick apart that Ravens defense. I can't say it even right now, the Baltimore defense. But I also know that we've seen that Baltimore defense be a very solid force in the past. And so I think of any team in the first half of the season, this is one that we really could see kind of hold them down and lock up the Chiefs offense if they put it all together. And it's not a guarantee, but it can happen. And then on offense, Lamar Jackson is a very versatile quarterback, and we've seen him be electric in the past. And I don't think that he's one that we can ever really write off because he's hitting his stride. He's becoming more comfortable doing the things that he needs to do in order to beat a team like Kansas City. And so I think him putting all the pieces together, Again, a lot has to happen, but I think it can. And this is probably one of the more exciting games
Oh yeah.
this, especially this week. But you and I were talking, and we're like, this isn't necessarily one that we disagree on because these are two very exciting teams,
Right.
and we could see this going either way.
Oh yeah.
Obviously,
Absolutely.
I mean, we've both kind of said like you picked the Chiefs. I said that would have been my preferred choice because we've seen how successful they've been in recent time, and I mean, it's very hard to pick against a team like that.
Yeah.
But Baltimore has been very successful and very solid, just not at the same, at the opportune times.
Right.
So that's why I say that if the offense and the defense can mesh and put everything together, this could be when they could take down the Chiefs. And I think hopefully early on in the year when offenses are still trying to figure each other out or figure themselves out, they could maybe pick apart the offense and carry that momentum into their own offensive drives.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I think this is a game where the Chiefs need to just show up in the first half and play good football, not just fall behind like they did to the Browns. And the Ravens just need the ground chuck ground, as the term is, just run that ball, run that ball, run that ball, and keep Mahomes on the bench. It's the best offense is to keep Mahomes on the bench. Actually, that's your best defense. My bad. Your best defense is to keep Mahomes on the bench. If he's on the field, he's gonna score points, and because that's what Mahomes does, he just scores.
Right. So what Lamar Jackson needs to do is, I mean, obviously he needs to score a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, score often, but extend those drives. Even when you're not scoring, take long drives, take a lot of time off the clock, go a long distance. And even if you're ending in 3 points, it's better than short drive, three and outs where nothing's happening. So, like you said, it's keeping Mahomes off the field. It's making him do the same thing and go the length of the field. So, it's extending drives and hopefully ending in touchdowns, but just getting points on the board consistently.
Yeah, I mean, not to talk about the Bears, but the Bears did that to the Rams. The Bears were in the game for 3 quarters, so they took their
Mm-hmm.
time,
Right.
drove down the field. They got some points, not a lot of points, but they stayed in the game until the fourth quarter when the wheels fell off, and maybe that'll happen to the Raves, but maybe it won't. The Raves are a better team than the Bears. We're gonna put that out there. We both believe
Oh
the Raves
yeah.
are a better team than the Bears, so maybe that
Credit
stretch
where
your
credit's
wings.
due, man.
Yeah, I
Credit
mean,
where credit's due.
it's not hard because we're Bears fans. We're pretty realistic that the team is not going to win the Super Bowl and will not make the playoffs. So we're kind of yeah, we're kind of chill about it. Yeah,
I think we can accept that.
yeah, we're accepting that. So anything better than what we saw last week is going to be good for us. But but Chiefs Ravens should be an excellent game on Sunday Night Football with my favorite duo, Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels. I know Tom's not a big fan of Collinsworth. I'm okay with Collinsworth. But I am a big Al Michaels guy.
All right, you made a very good point about Chris Collinsworth last year.
Yeah.
His football commentary
It's next level.
is good.
Yeah.
It is next level.
It's the voice.
It's the voice.
Yeah.
It's nails in a chalkboard, man. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, look at that play!
Look at that play. And yes, that's what it is for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta say though, I'll take him over Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
Oh yeah, yeah. Very. It's not bland. At least
I'll take two Chris Collinsworths over Joe Buck and Troy Aikman together.
At least they have. At least Chris Hemsworth has emotion when he's talking about the game of football.
He has a personality.
Yeah.
Joe Buck is just a carrot with a microphone.
All right, moving on. So we don't talk about carrots and Joe Buck any longer. We got the dessert bracket championship game coming your way because finally it is here. We know we haven't talked about it in a while, but here it is, your championship bracket. We have Cheesecake versus Funnel Cake, the two underdogs. One could say because of seeding, but they have made it to the finals thanks to you, the people, have made it here. We were going to have a judge in the Master Waldeck, but I talked to him yesterday. I had the couple shower for his wedding, and I said, hey, we want you to be the judge, and it's going to be Cheesecake versus Funnel Cake. And he said, well, obviously it's Funnel Cake. And I said, dang it, man, now you can't be the judge.
That's not what he was. I mean, if he wanted to do this, he shouldn't have said that. I mean,
Right.
that's bias. So as as soon as you told me that, I was like, tainted
Yeah,
results.
no.
No, get them
So we're
out.
going to let it be the people who decide this, and not a judge, because well, we couldn't find an unbiased judge because our
I don't think
unbiased
there is
judge
one.
was very biased.
And judging by who has actually interacted with our posts, I'm, it could go either way.
Yeah,
But I'm feeling pretty confident now.
as you
I
should,
haven't even said anything yet,
as
but
you should be, because I'm just the anti cheesecake because I'm lactose intolerant. So it's just I'm the anti pick.
all right. I'm gonna dive right into it. Okay.
Take it away.
Here's my thing with funnel cake. You don't get funnel cake all the time. It's not a dessert that is offered widely. You go to a ball game, you go to the state fair or a county fair or something like that. That's the only places you can get it. Cheesecake is widely available and considered a dessert on many restaurant menus. Funnel cake you get in like it's fair food. It's ball game food. It's not, to me. It's not like a dessert, not like a special thing. It's like just it's part of the ball game experience, the state fair experience. To me, it's not like a dessert experience.
Hey,
Cheesecake is so it's so rich and it's regularly used in menus like that. That's to me, it's like that's a dessert because it's I don't know. It's maybe it's just because we haven't socially accepted funnel cake into Red Lobster, but I'm not gonna stand here and say that we should,
hey, I think
but
we should.
and I'm not all right. I'll also say I do like funnel cake. I'm not gonna say I don't like it. I'm just thinking when I talk about like a dessert that I can get consistently and throughout the year, I got basically one season of the year that I can get a funnel cake in. I get a cheesecake almost any time, and
And
that's what's special. That's what's special about it. I don't know if that makes any sense.
uh,
You take this away now.
hey, and for all the reasons you said, that makes funnel cake a perfect dessert to win this because it's only around for one season. It's a specialty cake, funnel cake that you can get at any ice cream shop, pretty much. Any good ice cream shop will have funnel cake. Really,
Whoa, really?
yes.
What sort of ice cream shops are you going to,
Up
man? I
in
need
the
to go
north
there.
burbs of Chicago, we always have funnel cake as an
All right,
offering in the burbs. So it might just be the
fair
burbs.
enough.
It might just be us city folk out here who want a funnel cake at all times of the season. But you can get at the ice cream shop, the state fair, any fair, the circus, the carnival. I mean, I'm not helping my kids right now going that route, but hey,
The circus, the carnival. You're not convincing me, man. I
I'm not
don't like
convincing you. That's making
circuses.
it worse because you're the
The
anti-clown
one,
person.
the one circus. So yeah,
Yeah, so but the ball game, a funnel cake, I don't even get at the ball game all the time because it is so delicious and so much fun to eat that I forget to watch the baseball game, and that's a problem because I'm there to watch the game. I can't get the funnel cake. I'm going to see funnel cake, and you eat the funnel cake and forget about.
what was that?
It's funnel cake. It's so good. You just when it's done right, it is the best. When it's done poorly, it's a hockey puck, and that's just disappointing.
Hey, and I gotta say, the same can be said about
Yeah.
cheesecake too. When it is done right, it is very good. When it is done wrong, they're very. I mean, when it's bad, it's real bad.
Yeah.
But I will say this: sometimes bad cheesecake is still better than I'm not even gonna say good funnel cake, but like any other like a good cookie or a good
No.
uh, bowl of ice cream or a brownie. We didn't. All right. So what's kind of funny, but I'm looking at this bracket. We didn't have like regular cake on here. That was
No, we
not one of
didn't.
the voted things. Funnel cake was a surprise to me.
Baseball. Woo!
I didn't expect that at all. I didn't even originally. I didn't even want to put it on the list. I let you pick that one.
I
I
put
was
it
like,
on
nah,
there.
that's not a dessert.
It made it there. It made it because all the people love funnel cake. We just don't think about it as dessert. I'm trying to change perspectives. Like hot dog is a
No,
sandwich.
I'm oh my goodness, I'm not even gonna. You gotta start calling tacos sandwiches. They're
All
Mexican
right.
sandwiches too. Okay, but that was a whole different
Yeah.
conversation. All right, but all right, funnel cake as a dessert. Are we gonna start calling pizza on a stick an entree now? I mean
Yeah.
yeah, where does the line stop? Nah, I pulled that line with hot dog sandwich sort of conversation too, but um, to me, funnel cake, it kind of, and excuse the pun, is funneled into one column, one pillar. It's like you get your fried dough, your powdered sugar. I know that there's like you can do a chocolate one, you can do a
Sounds
red
like a
velvet
donut
one,
right there, man.
but like that's about all you can do. You can get whole like there's a whole restaurant called the Cheesecake Factory that has dozens or hundreds of types of cheesecake. There's you can do that much with it. Funnel cake, there's only so much you can do before it becomes something else.
All it becomes is a heart attack because of so much sugar. You're just gonna pass. You're gonna just your heart will explode because you just put M&Ms on top, some chocolate syrup on top. I've seen crazy concoctions of funnel cake before. I've seen that before, and I'm like, okay, that person's gonna get a sugar high and then pass out, and they're gonna get the beatus from that one dose of funnel cake.
Does a funnel cake ever get so big that you actually have to eat it with a fork?
No, you always eat with your hands. That's
I know you. I know. Hey, I,
yeah.
I've always grown up knowing that you eat funnel cake with your hands.
Yes.
But when you're talking about like putting all that sort of stuff on it,
No.
at some point does it become so overloaded that you think about using a fork and knife?
Nah. Nah. This is like eating pizza with a fork. You don't do that. You eat unless it's deep dish.
Unless it's deep dish. Yes, I was gonna say
deep dish is the exception because if you eat with your hands, you will be wearing the pizza, and you want to eat the pizza. But funnel cake, you eat with your hands.
I was just gonna say, like, is there a deep dish exception for the funnel cake?
I've yet to see it. Maybe someone piles up so high you have no choice but to do that. But it's like cutting a hamburger.
We gotta find a place that has one so piled high that you just gotta
Yeah, shovel your way in there.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This one's gonna be a toss up to the people because I know that we had a lot of votes for
I don't.
cheesecake in weeks past. I mean, obviously, cheesecake beat ice cream.
Yeah.
I think it was because we only had like 2 votes, but
it's
still.
been running the table though. It's strongly running the table.
Brownies, ice cream, and now in the finals, and then you had funnel cake, which beat chocolate chip cookies.
I don't even know. I don't know how that happened.
I don't know.
I'm very happy though.
Honestly, I kind of expected ice cream because you know, as versatile as cheesecake is, ice cream is tenfold. Yeah. So I don't know. We could see that. We could see this being the end of the cheesecake, or we could be crowning cheesecake as the champion. I don't know. I could see funnel cake making it all the way. I can see it happening.
If funnel cake makes it all the way, that would be the most Sports and More with Chris and Tom moment I can think of. That we put something in there as a gag, and it just continues on throughout the entirety of the show.
Seriously, I put it in there, and I was just like, "No one's gonna vote for this. It's fine. We just needed a 10th one."
Baseball.
Here it is. Jiminy Christmas. So
the literal reason, guys, baseball. Woo was why.
That is the exact text message that he sent to me. Was funnel cake and then in parentheses baseball. Woo! So I mean, like
it's a joke from the start. It's gonna be a joke at the end.
I'm just as surprised as you are. Oh man. So down in the comments on Facebook, down in the comments on YouTube, let us know. We leave this up to you, and I don't know. We'll see if we come back in a week and we don't have a lot of data or it's tied. We're gonna leave it up until we've got. We're gonna leave it up at least a week.
At least a week, yeah.
At least a week from, let's say, from tomorrow, since it's late. So from September 14th to the 21st, at least. We're going to see where we're at after that. If we're at a tie, or if we only have one vote, we're going to keep it going another week, and then we'll cut it off after the second week. How about that?
That sounds
good. We got to give this ample time.
If no choice, we will start polling random people at our offices to get votes for this thing, and we will let each other know what the votes are. We will get votes for this one.
You know what? I've got 3 people on my team.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask my 3 people this weekend, or this week at work, and I'm gonna hold that one in my back pocket just in case we need it.
Absolutely, sounds like a plan.
Because 3 people, we either there's 3 outcomes. No, only 2. There's they vote all in one favor.
Yeah.
Or there's
a split.
2 to 1.
Yeah. Or someone abstains. And then we have a whole nother problem.
No, there's that.
Yeah.
No, I don't like either one.
Well, then
I didn't ask that.
We didn't ask that. Which one? Gosh darn it!
Which one? Neither is not an option.
This isn't soccer. No. This is a pick. Either or.
Well, we can't say that because the NFL has joined that
Yeah.
from time to time. So anyway, um, so going from something that we were excited about, I'm not gonna. I didn't tell you I was putting this in here, but a little bit of a disappointing moment.
Oh.
I don't think our interview with the highly regarded
Oh.
YouTube channel, Instagram, um, Society Network is going to happen.
Ah.
We've been trying to get back in touch. So I'm going to go ahead and spill
Spill the
what it was
beans.
because we were kind of being hiding it for a
Coy.
while and try exactly. We were trying to like just let you all kind of go, let your imaginations run wild with it. But we had gotten in contact with the producer of the Warrior Poets Society network, and we've talked about the Warrior. Well, I have anyway with one of my Tom's takes, the Warrior Poet Society with John Lovell and Evan Temple, and the guy that I got in contact with was Brendan Nieto, and he is the producer for that channel. And originally, back in June, he had said that he would be in for doing an interview with us, um, but that the others are a little bit harder to get uh, scheduled around because they do so much, especially during the summer.
Mhm.
So I'd said, yeah, hey, you guys have your full summer. We'll touch base back throughout the summer, and we'll try to do something in the fall. It's been radio silence since then, and I don't hold anything against
No,
them.
no,
It was a long shot.
no.
They've got 500,000 subscribers on or followers on Instagram. They got like 1.2 million on subscribers on YouTube. So it was a long shot to begin with. Just the fact that I even got a response from the producer is huge. By the way, seems like a really cool guy. So no hard feelings about that, but
No.
just that's what we had looking forward to it. So we're not going to give up on that, but we had originally said September was a high possibility for that, and it's just not going to happen.
No.
Yeah, they're really hard to get a hold of, especially as they're constantly producing new shows
Mhm.
on their network, their app, um, and they just came out with one in August. They're coming out with another one the beginning of October, I believe, or maybe
Jeez,
it's
yeah.
later this month. So I mean, like they've got a lot going on because that's their job.
Yeah.
This is kind of a hobby for us. This is their job that we're talking about. So um, we won't give up on it if we get a chance,
No.
just even to talk to one guy on the team. Just we want to pick their brains and like, what is it like to produce a show on that level, and how they've grown over the past year is just incredible. So just kind of getting some stuff from them would be really cool. So I mean, if you want to spam their inbox on our behalf, but I mean, we've got some lofty goals there, and unfortunately, we couldn't make it happen this month, but still got a goal for that to happen in the future. And we've got some cool ideas coming up for the fall and winter that I think we could really make a lot out of.
Absolutely. I mean, where they are now is our goal to get to where we can do this as our day job and call and then as much as I love accounting, Bun, if anyone's listening to this from Bun, as much as I love doing accounting work, doing a sports talk show would be closest thing to the dream job as possible. Dream job, of course, would have been first base Chicago Cubs, but that didn't happen for obvious reasons.
Right,
For
right.
obvious reasons.
But we all started with that as the goal at some
Yeah.
point. Yeah, I mean that you said it right. I mean the reason we want to talk to people like that is for inspiration and to kind of pick their brains of what are some things that we can do to grow this channel, grow this show, because this is something that we like to do, and yet it takes time for us to do, and we run into frustrations like we did earlier tonight. Right? We had a slow go
Oh
because
yeah.
of the internet stuff, but that still doesn't take away from the goal that we want to put more into this, because what's more fun than talking with your best friend,
Oh yeah.
talking sports, talking other topics, talking about that how much better cheesecake is than funnel cake. I mean,
Hey, get a fast
we'd
foot in
love to
there.
do that more often, and on a bigger scale.
Even in
And so
person.
to talk even in person, like we have done one time. We've had one time in person,
Yep.
and it was a live.
Yep.
It was a live show on Facebook right about a year ago too.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's is that the last time we've actually seen each other in person too?
Yep. Yep.
So that's kind of why we do make some of those moves and goals that we have, is because we eventually want to be in person, hanging out and doing this together again.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is just like, shades of when we were in college having these talks late at night all the time in person. We want to get back to a position where we can do that again in this setting.
Oh yeah, that's the goal. We are going to strive for that goal. We're going to continue to strive for that goal, even if that goal is unattainable. Because hey, never give up, never surrender. You may be surprised what you achieve when you don't give up. So some
Well
inspiration for
said.
you guys there. So never give up, never surrender. We never.
I like it, man.
And that's also a bad strategy. You're playing Halo and you're just getting obliterated every 5 seconds because you just say charge. drove
Oh,
someone insane doing that. He's like, "Stop it, Chris! Charge!
oh, dude, charge! Yeah, I can see
Charge!"
you doing
Yeah,
that. I
that
can see you doing that.
happened all the
Maybe
time.
that's what we need to do, is we need to start a gaming channel. Just there, those are a dime a dozen out there now
Yeah,
right
that
now.
that
But
would yeah. We wouldn't be much better at that. We're more sports heads than we are gamer guys. So we're gonna stick to what we.
hey, you really think that I could handle a gaming channel? I can't even get my internet with my laptop to work properly. We're
Yeah,
not streaming me playing whatever game online. It's not happening,
no,
man.
no. We're gonna keep it simple.
I'm
KIS
just gonna.
is
I'll watch you. I'm
yeah.
just.
Yeah, that's not going to be much better. So we're going to keep it there, and that's actually let's keep rolling on. Let's get to the final. Let's hit the outro. So you please follow our Facebook page for any updates around the show, and also you can reach out to us on Facebook or email us at sports and more with CT capital C capital T at gmail.com. You can also check out our YouTube channel and stuff like that, just to keep everything rolling like that. Tom, where else are we on?
We're also on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, a host of other websites. What was the other? There was one, Rocket Cast, I think
Yep.
maybe that was. There was a weird one out there that I had never heard of before. So we're across a lot of different hosting sites. Pretty much wherever you would get a podcast, search for us. You probably found us. Anchor is where we is the hosting site that actually houses the original versions of all of our stuff, but that's not the only place you can find us. And now, like we've said, the past couple of months we've been on YouTube, and so we've got, I think, 4 subscribers, which is, well, 3 because I'm one of them.
I'm
But
the Garrett
hey, that's
Hilbert
that.
of the show. I am not a subscriber to our own channel.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to punish you for that one. But I mean, you can find us there, and that's where our more recent stuff is going to be. All the previous stuff that we have done is on the
Yep.
podcast sites. So check that out, because last year we put a lot of cool stuff together, and I know that we're not putting stuff together as often as we were last year. I mean, we were doing 2 shows a week last year,
Oh, at this time, yeah, yeah,
and
it's
by
busy.
this time, yeah. So you can go back and check out some of that cool kind of stuff there, if that's the stuff you like. But if you're watching this on YouTube, now is the time for you to smash that like button and hit subscribe, get the bell on, toggle all notifications, and if you want to, share this. Share it with everyone that you want to. We're going to have it on Facebook, so you can share the link straight from there. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can share it straight from the app or straight from your computer. We want to get the word out that we're trying to do better and better stuff every week.
Absolutely, and we would like to thank all of you, probably the tens and tens of people listening to our ridiculous takes and ramblings on everything from the NFL to funnel cake is better than cheesecake, or Tom might say cheesecake is better than funnel cake, and also our hopes and dreams for the show.
And hopes and dreams they are, and one day they'll become reality, we know. Our next episode's creation date is to be decided, but hey, I think I've done a pretty good job the past couple of times of
Oh yeah,
letting know the day that we're recording. So I'm going to try to keep doing that. So as we've done the past couple of weeks, keep an eye on the Facebook page. We'll let you know the day that we're recording and when to maybe expect the next episode. And if you've got ideas for episodes, let us
let us
know.
know.
We want to talk about what you guys want to talk about. We have this idea for the show next week that we think is going to be pretty enjoyable. So come back. I know I said this morning, like, we're fired up. We didn't end up doing that kind of show, but like next week, or the one after that, we're going to have some pretty spicy content for you. So stay tuned for that. But until then, as always, stay safe and healthy, and above all, stay free.
Sports and More with Chris and Tom is brought to you by no one. All non-original thoughts and ideas were properly noted during each segment.